A call to catch up. Water, roads, bridges, and more. Why so much of Calgary's infrastructure is in bad shape. A woman found dead on the Tsuut'ina Nation.
An autopsy was also performed that confirmed that this actually was a homicide.
Now a woman is charged with murder. And the power of fermented foods.
We want to get microbes, get bacteria back into our diet.
The campaign to get more of it on our dinner plate.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Ian White.
Good afternoon. A new report shows Calgary has an infrastructure problem, and it goes far beyond just water mains. An assessment of the city's systems and services shows an elevated risk of failure. Jordan Canagan is at City Hall with more. And Jordan, the report outlines an urgent need for fixes.
Ian, it's a report that was prepared by city administration and is going to a council committee tomorrow, and it looks at the deficiencies in city fleets, roads, bridges, IT, and more. And of course, it highlights the issues in the city's water system. Of course, we don't need much of a reminder of what has happened there recently. Water main breaks along the city's main feeder main has its replacement being fast-tracked. Work to build a parallel pipe alongside the Bearspaw feeder main was supposed to start in the spring, but construction will now begin this week. It's because the current line, which carries 60% of the city's drinking water, could rupture again at any moment. But the report has elevated the city's overall critical infrastructure risk to extensive. That's the highest rating the city uses. 11% of the city's systems, buildings, and infrastructure are in poor or very poor condition.
Generally, for successive generations, councils and administration have passed the buck. Rather than address the here and now urgency of infrastructure maintenance deficits, not just in the water utility, but other key essential areas, our council is doing things differently. We are going to confront this head on.
Now, that work on the feeder main will see micro-tunneling go underneath communities, basically right along 16th Avenue Northwest, near where some of those breaks have happened. Even though construction is set to start right away, we still don't really know the full price tag for that replacement. The mayor only saying that they estimate it'll be hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, crews and construction equipment will be on site to start that work on Friday. Ian?
Thanks very much, Jordan. A survey conducted by the Alberta Teachers Association paints a grim picture of how its members feel about the current state of classrooms. Over 5,500 teachers and school leaders were surveyed. It was conducted between November 21st and December 5th, after the province invoked the notwithstanding clause forcing teachers back to work. 95% reported high levels of occupational stress. Respondents also highlighted collapsing teacher well-being, overwhelming classroom complexity, resource gaps, along with system and policy pressure.
They're calling for real solutions, including staffing and other resources that match the conditions that they are facing every day. The government cannot continue to pretend that class size and complexity do not matter. The Premier and the Minister of Education must move from statements of concern to measurable action. They cannot continue to rely on the dedication of teachers while failing to give them the tools and support that they need.
In a statement, the province says it's working to address classroom size and complexity through a cabinet committee. It's also committed to hiring 3,000 teachers and 1,500 educational assistants. A 29-year-old Tsuut'ina woman was killed earlier this month, and another woman is now charged with second-degree murder. Tsuut'ina Nation police responded to a home on the nation near Winter Green Road on January 5th. EMS were called for reports of an unresponsive woman. 40-year-old Amanda Audrey Nicole Crane was arrested Monday at a home in Calgary. Investigators say the two women knew each other but would not say how the victim died. Police say Crane is not a Nation member and was not known to investigators.
On the morning that we were called by EMS, our first responders determined that the death was suspicious in nature, and we began our investigation. Obviously, an autopsy was also performed on the 7th of January, and that confirmed that this actually was a homicide.
The last homicide on the Tsuut'ina Nation was in 2019. Police say the community is safe. Crane next appears in court on Tuesday in Cochrane. The victim's name has not been released. 3 teenage boys have been charged after police say they used pellet guns and bats to terrorize several North Calgary neighborhoods. Investigators responded to 8 separate weapons and property damage calls last week. At this 7-Eleven on 4th Street Northwest, 2 suspects flashed replica guns at the occupants of a parked car and then chased them, firing multiple rounds. Several homes and vehicles were heavily damaged in Beddington Heights, Coventry Hills, and Sandstone Valley, including one incident where a moving car's windows were shot out while on Deerfoot Trail. The suspects, all 17 years old, are back in court next month. A Calgary police officer explained the emotional, physical, and psychological toll she suffered during a discreditable conduct hearing today. Comes roughly 6 years after Constable Mike Oakey filmed the pair having sex without her consent and then showed it to others on the service. Alicia Fielberg joins us from police headquarters. Alicia, what did she say in her victim impact statement?
Ian, she said that Oakey used his authority, his position, and her dream as weapons. In today's hearing, they discussed details of how he helped her prepare and apply for her dream job as a police officer, and then allegedly indicated that she owed him sex. Now, her identity is protected under a publication ban, but she can be identified as AA. Last year, Oakey was demoted in rank for a year after filming a video of her and him having sex without her consent in 2018, then sharing it with some of his Calgary Police Service colleagues. He knew she planned to become a police officer and continued to share it after she became an officer in 2019. Now, today, a CPS lawyer said Oakey abused his position of authority and trust to groom and manipulate AA. Oakey's lawyer claims his client one time said, "I helped you, it's the least you could do," when she denied his sexual advances. In the hearing today, she said, "What Oakey did not just hurt me, it dismantled my sense of safety, my identity, and my future." AA said she has night terrors, lost 35 pounds, and has had to take a leave of absence from the career that she always wanted.
If standing up for what is right, for holding Oakey accountable, and protecting future women will cost me my career, then I will accept that loss and I will choose integrity over silence. Oakey's actions caused significant and irreversible damage to me and to my career.
A CPS representative said that Oakey should lose his position, while Oakey's lawyer says that's too harsh. He's already lost about $100,000 while on unpaid leave. A presiding officer is expected to make the decision next week. Ian?
Thank you, Alicia. Tim Hortons in southeast Calgary will be shut down for several days after a fire early this morning. It started around 3 in the morning at the Tim's on 58th Avenue Southeast. Crews got there quickly and put out the flames before they got out of control. While the fire was small, the smoke damage is extensive, and that will require several days of work to clean up. Nobody was hurt, and insurance experts are assessing the situation. The cause of the fire is under investigation. And you know, with the weather we're about to experience, it might be time for a warm beverage, a coffee or two or a cup of tea, just to stay warm, right?
Yeah, and have the parka ready because this is baby steps today.
Okay.
We're being eased into the cooler weather. So by tomorrow, you will notice a massive difference. Record-breaking heat and really warm temperatures over the last week and a half to daytime highs in the minus single digits. All right, -5 is the temperature right now at the airport. With the wind chill, it feels more like -10. And your 24-hour forecast is brought to you by 5th Avenue Volkswagen. Family-owned, community-driven. Discover more at 5th Avenue Volkswagen. Look at that key point for tomorrow. Temperatures will cool throughout the day tomorrow rather than warm in the afternoon. So if you think the -13 in the morning with a wind chill of -20 is cold, wait till the afternoon when it feels closer to those mid-20s with the wind chill. We're also looking at anywhere from 1 to 3 centimeters of snow, so on and off flurries is what you can expect throughout the day. Your full forecast just ahead, Ian.
Thanks, Danielle. When you hear fermentation, you might think of the process to produce beer or other forms of alcohol, but it's involved in the creation of many foods, too. Coming up, why some say we need more yogurt, cheese, and sauerkraut in our diets. why supporters of the Alberta separatist movement are taking a closer look at the tensions between Donald Trump and Mark Carney. Prime Minister Mark Carney's speech in Davos and a sharp response from U.S. President Donald Trump are fueling debate in Alberta over sovereignty and trade.
Canada gets a lot of freebies from us, by the way. They should be grateful also, but they're not. I watched your Prime Minister yesterday. He wasn't so grateful. But they should be grateful to us.
Trump's comments came hours after Carney used his keynote address at the World Economic Forum to warn that the old rules of global politics no longer apply. Alberta separatist leaders say the exchange has added fuel to their movement, arguing Carney's rhetoric and Trump's response highlight what they call a broken federal relationship.
Any element in which we are, in fact, subscribing to this belief in separation, that just weakens us. And let's not kid ourselves. The Americans, if they are following what Trump is saying, they will be jumping on that to further divide.
In a statement, Alberta's premier says she's encouraged by the Prime Minister's continued work to build and diversify international trade, but Danielle Smith points out words must be turned into action. In addition to criticizing Mark Carney, Donald Trump focused on Greenland during much of his speech today. The U.S. president said he's no longer interested in using military force to acquire the territory, and he's canceled a planned tariff on European allies after they opposed his idea to obtain Greenland. Trump also says he's formed a framework of a future deal after a meeting with the head of NATO. Lots of snow in those pictures, and we're going to see more snow again, aren't we?
We sure are. Get ready for winter.
Okay.
All of it. A little bit of shoveling.
Wind chill even.
Wind chill. Get the parka ready. You'll need it all. We haven't needed it very much this winter, but we're in for a bit of a longer term cold stretch. It's about a 5-day to 6-day cold stretch, with the 2 coldest days being the next 2 days. Okay, in the wind chills, minus teens for Calgary, Red Deer, Medicine Hat right now, and close to it in Drumheller at minus 11 is what it feels like with that lovely wind chill. So, the temperatures are dipping, and they will continue to dip even throughout the day tomorrow rather than rise. We won't be this bad, though. So north of Lloydminster, off into Saskatchewan in this lighter blue color here, that's suggesting a 3-day with 3 days straight with wind chills in the minus 40s. So we're not getting that cold, but we certainly will notice a massive difference in our temperature over these next 2 days. Right now we have some cloud cover that's starting to inch its way in. Mainly cloudy skies for tomorrow and some snowfall as well. Likely enough in some isolated areas that we're even going to have to shovel it. It won't be an all-day thing, but it will be on and off throughout the day. I'm going to show you that on the Futurecast here, and you can see the clouds starting to roll in. Most likely the snow will be in the afternoon, but we still have a chance of getting some snowfall in the morning hours as well in the city. Again, on and off throughout the day is the story here. And when we're looking at amounts, well, just for tomorrow in the city, anywhere from 1 to 3 centimeters is possible. A little more in Okotoks, up to 4 centimeters. High River around that 3 centimeter mark. And then off to the west, Canmore, Cochrane, Banff, about a trace to a dusting to about 1 centimeter is certainly possible. Okay, for tomorrow, minus 12 as our high, but again, that will be earlier in the morning, and then in the afternoon, it will be minus 16 with a wind chill in the mid minus 20s. So certainly dropping throughout the day, 1 to 3 centimeters is possible. Still cold on Friday with a high of minus 11. We'll get a break from the snowfall on Friday, but still a good amount of cloud cover. Then the snow returns Friday night, another 1 to 3 centimeters possible then, and another 1 to 3 centimeters possible on Saturday as well. The difference is when we head into the weekend, our temperatures will recover. So we'll still be below the freezing mark for Saturday and Sunday, but at least by that point we'll be in the minus single digits.
Fermented foods like yogurt and sauerkraut should play a larger role in Canadians' diets. The Canadian Fermented Food Initiative links fermented foods to lower risks of chronic disease, including type 2 diabetes. Researchers surveyed more than 4,000 Canadians and found yogurt and cheese are the most commonly eaten fermented foods, though most people eat them for taste, not for health. Other foods like sauerkraut, kombucha, and kimchi are less frequently found in Canadian diets. Experts say modern North American diets have become too sterile, limiting exposure to beneficial bacteria that support gut and immune health.
We don't get the exposure to bacteria or microbes that we used to, and that has led to chronic health conditions, so immune-related, more asthma, more allergies, more diabetes, more brain memory problems, and so we want to get microbes, get bacteria back into our diet to try and reverse and prevent some of those conditions.
An extensive list of healthy fermented foods can be found on the Canadian Fermented Foods Initiative's website, and that is fermentedfoods.ca. It was a record year for home construction in Alberta. Still to come, how many of those homes were built here in Calgary? Donald Trump talks and the world's investors respond. Join me is Robert Geary, investment advisor with the Popwich-Carmally Advisory Group. So, Rob, how did the markets fare today after the U.S. president's speech in Davos?
Yeah, this was an interesting one to follow, and I was watching it live as the markets opened and the futures pre-market. So this was an interesting one because they didn't move and they were in the red earlier on in the session here until Trump came out saying at the World Economic Forum in front of all of the world leaders saying that he would not use force in any kind of negotiation for Greenland. So that calmed the markets, and that's one thing that he wants. He wants to see the markets do well as well. So this is the part that he's at and saying, you know, the things that everyone wants to hear. Now, this can change on a daily basis. They created framework throughout the day. He's calling it framework with NATO and how he's going to take that, potentially not using tariffs against the EU. So we saw all the markets positive. We saw oil bounce on this. That brought Canada markets back up as well. So it ended the day on a positive note.
And if you own Netflix stocks, you're just a little bit poorer today.
Yeah, this is stock. It's been in the kind of doldrums for the last couple of months here. And this is an interesting one because they had their last quarter earnings report come out here late yesterday. And so I watched the market reaction on this, and it was pretty bad early in trading. It was down about 7% early in the morning. It came back, finished the day down 2%. But there's a lot going on here because they said that, you know, they beat on top and bottom lines. It was a good earnings report, but they said guidance moving forward, their margins be slightly less, and that they were going to have to deal with this all-cash offer now, potentially, for Warner Brothers, which is now at $83 billion. And investors are saying, you know, where's this money going to come from? They have to secure potential different lending. They're canceling their repurchase on their share program too, because they have to firm up cash in the sidelines to try and deal with this. And I think the market's saying, hey, do we need this right now, or are we paying too much for it?
83 billion, mind-boggling indeed. Okay, thanks very much.
Yeah, you got it.
The province is highlighting a boost in housing construction in 2025. More than 53,000 new home construction projects got underway in 2025, and that breaks the previous record set the previous year by 14%. More than half of those were in Calgary at over 27,000, and that's also up 14% from the previous year. As for renting a spot, the asking price in Alberta is about $400 a month below the national average at about $1,600 a month, and the number of purpose-built rental construction projects jumped to nearly 20,000 last year. Habitat for Humanity is teaming up with ATCO Energy to foster new builds and support the charity's Restore. ATCO is pledging a minimum of $50,000 to cover the cost of energy to the Restore and to provide sponsorships for new builds. Habitat for Humanity says about 1 in 5 Canadians spend more than half their income on housing. Since 1990, the charity has helped more than 400 families. A new report shows Calgary has an infrastructure problem. Here's Tara Nelson with a look ahead to CTV News at 6.
Hi, Ian. The report is being presented to city councillors tomorrow. It found 11% of the city's systems, buildings and infrastructure are in poor or very poor condition. Coming up at 6, why Calgary's Chamber of Commerce is voicing its concerns. Also ahead, a former cannabis growing operation in Crossfield has now been repurposed to grow produce. Coming up, why the company believes this could be a template for other municipalities. Ian.
Thanks very much, Tara. Parks Canada is delaying the launch of its camping reservations. There's a technical issue affecting the website, as well as some other government websites. National park camping reservations that were supposed to start this week are now postponed until February. That includes Banff, Lake Louise, Icefields Parkway, and Waterton Lakes. Backcountry camping booking for Lake O'Hara has also been delayed. Another very impressive Northern Lights display last night and early this morning. The aurora was strong enough to be seen within city limits in Calgary and Edmonton. The Northern Lights have been visible the past 2 days across the country. It's all because of a strong geomagnetic storm. Well, get ready for colder conditions, substantially colder, including wind chill as well. It's already -3 in Calgary. Danielle has the details coming up. Danielle, winter weather can make so many things challenging, including on the roads.
Yep. We already have a lot of ice patches out there on sidewalks, parks, some roads. So now we're going to add a little bit of snow to that as well. But I feel like we've had enough of this that we can, it's, you know, not too new for us, but I feel like even though we're ready for the cold weather, it's still going to take our bodies a little bit to adjust. -2 was the high today. Tomorrow, the high will be -12. That's in the morning. By the afternoon, you're looking at -16 with a wind chill of -26 with about 1 to 3 centimeters of snow. Ian.
Thanks, Danielle. Penguins are on the march again at the Wilder Institute Calgary Zoo. 13 king penguins went on a walk this morning to the delight of parents and children watching from the sideline. They waddled past people on a 10-minute journey. It is the 14th year of the zoo's penguin walk tradition. The zoo says penguins walk a lot in their native environment, and the exercise is good for them. This first walk of the season is a little later than usual because of extreme cold earlier this month. In other words, it was too cold back then for the penguins. Thanks for joining us. Now here's the early edition of the CTV National News.